Hey, this is Knife Standards. Today I'm going to be doing a quick unboxing and first impressions of the Holt Bladeworks Haptic. This is the Holt Haptic. But first, please follow me at Knife Standards. You can follow me on Instagram. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for a lot more knife content and weekly knife reviews. All right, cool. So let's get into it. Let's talk Holt Bladeworks and the Holt Haptic. I have been wanting to get a haptic for quite a while, and the good news is I have one, and this is mine. This is my haptic, so I'm pretty pumped. I've heard amazing things about this knife, and I'm excited to just unbox it and get into it and see what it's all about. So let's go ahead and get it out of the box. This is a really nice box, by the way. This is like, just feeling the box. This is high quality. High quality box material. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and open it up. Cool, so we have a, I think you scan this and it pops, like your COA card pops up. So this tells you all the specs, pretty high tech. Very cool, and, oh man, look at that. Damn. Insane. Okay, I'm gonna put this to the side, and let's go ahead and, I feel like I should be wearing gloves. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, the Holt Haptic. Insane. Oh man. So, again, I've heard amazing things about Holt, about this knife. It is flipper only. It is a titanium liner lock. There are nested liners. Let's check the centering. Literally perfect. And there's that little kind of swoop, that little cutout. So you can be sure that it is perfectly centered. Very, very cool. This one is anodized, kind of like a blurple-ish. So I don't know what voltage that is, but I can definitely, I think it's like 70, 80, something like that. For the anodizing, I could definitely take a look at the COA card. But again, you have to scan it with your phone or with, with a tablet or something. So I will go ahead and do that later. The milling is ridiculous. These are CNC machined. I mean, look at, oh my gosh. Look at the pivot. What? Crazy. Wow. Okay, let's go ahead and let's flip it. Man, the weight is awesome. I'm assuming there's some internal milling in here. Let's go ahead and see. Oh my God. What? Wow. So not only like acoustically was that satisfying, but the detent is perfect. Perfect detent. Okay. Okay. All right. Is this the perfect knife? I mean, what? Oh my gosh. All right. Let's go. Detent again. Wow. Is that detent dialed? Wow. I'm speechless. What a freaking knife. What a knife. All right, I know I won't be able to fail this, but let's try and fail the flipper. Nope, can't do it. Crazy action. Oh my gosh, wow. And I'll go to hold this up to the mic. Damn. Crazy. What? I'm like, I don't even know what to say. This is just ridiculous. This is some of the best action I've ever experienced on knife, and one of, if not the best detent, one of the best. This is top 3 best detents. Oh my gosh! So I'm barely pushing on the flipper tab, just enough. My finger is totally comfortable the whole time. I'm not, my finger's not getting chewed up by the jimping or. It's just such a light, responsive. I mean, okay, so let me gather my thoughts here. I'm overwhelmed by the by the action of this knife. So the detent is dialed perfectly. The detent is interesting because when I go to push the flipper tab, there's just zero resistance. I mean, it just rockets out. It flies out. I barely have to push on the flipper tab, and the knife deploys. And what's interesting about that is, normally if that's the case, if you barely have to put any pressure on the flipper tab, that means the detent is too light, and sometimes you'll fail the knife, and the knife won't deploy all the way if it's if there's less pressure or light pressure on the flipper tab. But you cannot fail this knife. So although it requires really light pressure on the flipper tab, the detent is dialed perfectly. And I wouldn't consider it a strong detent, but it's definitely not light. This is just like the perfect middle ground for detent. I mean, it's a little bit hard to explain unless you have this in hand and you feel it. The best way I can explain it is it requires just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of pressure on the flipper tab, very minimal pressure to flip this knife out, but boom, super strong deployment. It rockets out of there. So, wow, detent, perfect. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the blade shape. We have, it's kind of like a sheep's foot-ish, Warncliffe-ish blade shape. Looks like a nice kind of stonewash finish. And a ridiculous, almost mirror edge. I know it's not mirror, but it's close. Whew. Wow. Talk about like a factory edge. Come on. Now let's go ahead and see what the factory edge. And I say factory, but I don't think it's actually factory. I think the Holts, it's a family operation. I think they were in their garage for a while. I think they might have just moved out of the garage. Someone can fact check that for me, but pretty sure they were machining the stuff in their garage for a while, which is wild. All right, so let's go ahead and okay. So that is pretty damn sharp. This makes me question why other knives don't do it like this. Like, has Holt figured, have they cracked the code? I mean, not only for the edge and for sharpness, but for the detent. I mean, come on, for the machining. Look at this. Holt has cracked the code. Really nice, solid, like 25% lockup. Again, nested liners. And if you take a look, there's actually an adjustable detent system, which I am not going to touch because, again, this detent for me is perfect, but you can adjust the detent and make it stronger or make it lighter, kind of to your tastes, with a little, I think it's a, wait, where? You know what, there was some like paper and stuff and some other stuff that came with the knife. So I think there must be a little tool or something that I'm missing somewhere. I'm assuming that's in with the other papers, but I think it's a little like Allen key thing that goes into that little slot right there, and then you can adjust the detent, which again, I'm not going to mess around with, but if you want to do it, you can do it. This is a knife I could literally sit here all day flipping. Zero pressure on my finger. It's not going to chew up your finger. And the flipper tab looks like it might, just from kind of the angle and the shape, but just so comfortable. Wow. And of course, the drop shot action. Crazy. Let's see, you got M390 blade steel. I know they did some of these in S9EV, which is cool, but I think that I prefer my M390, at least for now, on the haptic. I'd rather have M390. This is a crazy knife. This is just ridiculous. Insanely positive first impressions. Man. Wow, what a knife. What a knife. Let's go ahead and take a look on the inside. Let's see them. I'm sure there's some, oh, interesting. So, here, let's see if you guys can see that. I really need to get better lighting for you guys, but it's basically the whole scale is milled out. When I do my full review of this, I'm going to have a flashlight so I can show you the inside, because the milling is really impressive. Basically, this whole scale is just completely milled out. Internal milling, just this giant pocket, which is damn cool. And on the other side, there, it's hard to see. So that's the liner side. So there's a little bit of milling. So on one side, on the show side, huge internal milling pocket. On the clip side, just a little bit, but that is also the liner side. So anyway, this knife is ridiculous. First impressions are just overwhelmingly positive. Action is crazy. I'm looking forward to, I mean, and also these are not cheap. These are like, you know, $700 plus. Definitely not cheap. Let's go ahead and see. Yep, big surprise. super comfortable Ergos. Melts in my hand. Oh man, I was so distracted by the action I didn't even think about Ergos. Ergos are outstanding. Really comfortable. What a knife, man. They just crushed it. Great. Now I want another one. I'm gonna end up with like 5 haptics. Oh boy. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all the support. This has been Knife Standards. I will catch you later.